Hey everybody, welcome back to PlayStation Underground. You got Kristen and Zach here, and we are diving around literally in Shadow of the Tomb Raider out
Yes, we
September
are.
14th. So I was so excited to play this game because this is the first time in a long time that Lara has been able to swim in a Tomb Raider game. I remember in the classics it was always a huge deal, her diving into a tomb, going around, but look at this underwater traversal right now.
Yeah, this looks awesome. We saw, so this was your second time playing the game,
Second time,
right?
yes. So I got to play a good stretch of it, about 3-ish hours, I would say, this time.
Okay.
Get a little bit into the game, and Lara is definitely a Tomb Raider at this point. Like she knows what she's doing. She is surviving, and she's just like a predator, hunting down Trinity right now, trying to continue to save the world.
Gotcha. So in the last time we saw this game, there were some terrible incidents that had happened, right? With
Yes.
Lara perhaps inadvertently triggering the apocalypse.
Yes.
Right?
So Lara has been sort of on the hunt for this organization Trinity. By actually taking that artifact before Trinity, she inadvertently started a Maya apocalypse.
Oops.
Whoops, indeed. Trinity even was like, Lara, why would you do that?
I mean, who among us could say no to, an ancient dagger?
Yeah. You know,
that
she
is sitting
has the best intentions. So now she's trying to get ahead of them again. She's following a series of clues to continue to stop the series of events, all these cataclysms, and she's trying to get there before Trinity does.
Gotcha.
Because if they get this second artifact before her, they will be able to finish their plan.
Okay.
This is a great, cool sequence.
Yeah,
so
this looks great. Last time we saw it, it was just like in a tomb, and it looked very spooky and tomby. But this is the first of the jungle that we're seeing, right?
Yeah, well, these are the jungles of Peru, and as you can see, Lara is using everything to her advantage. She can climb trees, she can swing from vines. Right, we just saw this rope takedown called the Eagle's Talon. There's a full set of skills that you can start to build out where she's using the environment to her
Right.
advantage. And as you can see, it's to chilling effects. These guys are like, who is there?
Yeah. God, it looks amazing.
What are they so afraid of?
They're afraid of you, Lara. But yeah, she definitely has grown a lot throughout the series. In this sort of rebooted trilogy, she started out as this unsuspecting college, graduate. She didn't really know much about this side of the world. In Rise of the Tomb Raider, she was just starting to learn how to survive.
What was that?
Lara does not know what that is.
Okay,
Neither does Trinity.
good.
So yeah, Peru has a lot of mysteries. Has a lot of different creatures in the jungle. A lot of different people that she might interact with. So she's not just trying to hunt down Trinity. She's also just trying to survive
Right.
nature, survive potentially the locals.
Yeah.
Not everyone's happy that she's in
Attention,
Peru.
Dr. Dominguez. Camp set up near abandoned oil factory outside a village.
Of course, you're finding artifacts
Uh-huh.
right throughout this. Okay.
I was gonna say there was a lot of time that I spent literally just combing every corner, which this game is so great for that. They have all of the hidden tombs.
Right.
They have the challenge tombs, which I especially love. They have the extra puzzles that are beyond just the main storyline. But then we have these great combat sequences of just like trying to be stealthy as possible,
Right.
using her survival instinct. So that's what's happening when you see them ending up getting highlighted. You can see the red enemies. People can see them if you take them down. The yellow ones are out of their field of vision. So you sort of want to take your time,
Oh,
wait
I
it
see.
out.
So if I took down the red guy, someone else
It would
see
alert
that.
everybody,
I see,
exactly.
I see.
But nobody notices this.
Right, and that's just based on kind of their enemy's vision cones. I
Yes.
would presume. Okay, cool. Yeah, and this is cool. This reminds me of something we were talking about just before we started taking a look at this footage here that you captured. Is that there's a lot of customization options for kind of
Yes.
how assisted the player is, right?
Yeah, so for I believe the first time in this series, I had never really seen this level of customization before. You can change your difficulty settings for different aspects of the game. So it's not just set to an easy, normal, hard for the overall game. You can set it to that you want your combat to be hard, your combat to be super...
Not a silencer.
Mistakes were made. I think what happened actually is that he had heavier armor, so the shot hit his helmet. So you also have to take into account what level of armor people have and like what will affect them.
Fascinating.
So yeah, so you can change the puzzles, traversal, and combat to be differing levels of difficulty. So if you're super into the puzzles, you don't want any help, any hints, you can set that to hard. But maybe if you're not as good as exploring and you kind of need to know specifically where to go, you could set that to easy. It definitely sort of opens up a level of how intense do you want to play, what type of adventure do you want Lara to be, and yeah, it really can make the experience very unique.
Huh, fascinating. It's a really cool approach.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone likes different parts of games, right? And a game like Tomb Raider is combining all these different elements. So that's a really smart approach. See that you are
Taking them down again.
following in your footsteps.
I was like, let's try this one again.
So is that, do you try, like, obviously stealth is supported here and throughout the Tomb Raider games. But, I mean,
you could totally go in guns blazing.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Although, so what's happening here is, for the jungle, you can cover yourself in mud.
Oh, what?
So that's what Lara just did. She found a pool of mud. She just covered herself in it. It's now going to help her be a little bit harder to see.
Huh.
So if she were to jump in front of that guy, it might take him a little bit longer to notice her there.
Oh, wow. That is really cool. It reminds me perhaps of some classic PS3 games involving eating snakes.
What are these things?
God, wow, look at that.
Oh, I loved
awesome.
this rope mechanic.
I can see.
I was like, let me climb into every tree to take these guys down.
It's a very showy, it reveals a very confident side of Lara. You know, these
and I mean that's what she is at this point.
Yeah.
She's not afraid of Trinity. She knows what she has to do. She knows that she has to get there before they do, or literally people will die.
Right.
So this is another moment of these guys are heavily armored. How am I going to do this? They can all see each other.
Perhaps that bottle.
Perhaps these bottles are
be of
helpful.
assistance.
It is almost over.
But of course, you don't have to be stealthy if you don't want to.
Right. But that's definitely how I play these games. I try and use the bow and arrow.
I have cervical cancer from an infection, human papillomavirus.
As much as possible. Oop.
Yeah.
Nice. God.
And they saw me.
Uh-oh. Nice.
Run. So you also, of course,
what's
you
that?
can heal yourself, but there
Okay.
is another perception meter that you can set for yourself that by taking in certain herbs or eating certain berries, it will open up your perception to your predators.
Huh.
So I didn't use it, ended up using it here, but when you're hunting animals, if you're fighting animals, if you just eat some of that really quick, it can sort of heighten your senses, and
Okay.
you'll be a little bit more aware of what is stalking you.
Gotcha. Right. Hunting and kind of crafting upgrades, of
Yeah.
course, big part of the previous games would presume that's also in here.
Exactly.
Since we are in the jungle. So we're just seeing kind of a brief selection of everything that you played, but you played the game for like 4 hours, right?
I did, yeah. And Lara definitely is going on a journey. She's with her friend Jonah. This is a different section of the game. We're going to see a short little cinematic here of one of the other predators that Lara will end up running into. But Lara's with her friend Jonah. They're both working to stop Trinity. Jonah.
Oh my God.
That's not good. Lara's like, oh no.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Jaguars of Peru.
Speaking of predators.
I was going to say, this is, in the previous 2 games, Lara would frequently come into contact with packs of wolves. She's sort of used to fighting really quickly, but, jaguars are very quick, very agile. It's going to take a different skill set to fight them.
Interesting.
So she's gonna have to take that on. So right now she's currently trying to find Jonah again. Their plane might have gone down.
Whoa.
So they've been briefly separated, but Jonah has sort of been this ally and friend to Lara throughout the series. He's an adventurer like her. He's always been a supportive character, and especially in this game, when Lara is in the mindset of go, I have to stop Trinity, I have to do anything to make sure I save the world. Jonah's sort of being like, let's stop, let's take a deep breath and consider our options while we go into this. Are people getting hurt along the way? Was there a better way we could have done this? Should you maybe not have grabbed that artifact that potentially started this apocalypse.
Right.
So she's sort of starting to have to rethink about the consequences of her actions. And while she does have good intentions, is it better to maybe go about it in a different way?
Huh. That's really cool. I'm glad that they're exploring that angle of Lara's story, because you know, obviously we see her evolving quite a bit from the earlier part of the trilogy, as far as kind of like how she's interacting with enemies and how she's traversing the world. But to see her also maybe starting to at least consider taking steps on kind of an intellectual level or an empathetic level is really compelling, because obviously, you know, like, there can be, you know, Lara does a lot of good, but there can also be byproducts of stealing artifacts.
Yep. So this is one of those jaguar encounters. So what ends up happening here is it's usually in a space that isn't just part of the regular environment. So you sort of have to take a look around. So in this one, there wasn't really any trees that I could climb, but there was another encounter later on where it strongly encouraged you to use trees.
Okay.
The jaguar is absolutely going to move in and out and sort of stalk you and come out and surprise you. So you really have to be paying attention, listening for what direction it's going to come from. If you have those perception berries to eat, you could potentially use those. But
So how many encounters with jaguars did you have?
I ended up having 2.
Okay. And they so it seems like those are kind of like those are distinct from, even though you kind of met them in kind of the not, it's obviously not an open world game, but kind of like in kind of the explorable spaces that the actual combat takes place in a distinct area. Got it.
Nailed them.
Man.
All right. Well, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is going to be coming to PS4 on September 14th. I'm so excited. I can't wait to continue on Lara's journey.
Me neither. Thanks for showing me this.
Thank you, Zach.
Not much longer to wait.
I know. All right. We'll see you next time on PlayStation Underground.
See ya.